Greetings, everybody. Sorry for running a little bit late today, but welcome to the Karen Smith Frazier podcast. I am Karen Smith Frazier, and this is podcast number 80. Welcome, welcome. Please let me know where you're coming in from, tuning in from, and if you find value in the content, please let me know. Today's podcast is going to be a bit shorter, but it crossed my mind. I have dreams where just certain topics come to mind, and I feel like, okay, am I the only one feeling this? So, but yeah, again, if you find value, please let me know in the comments. Again, I'm Karen Smith Frazier, and I am a life coach, and I help strong, capable people who know they're meant for more stop settling and confidently step into their next chapter without guilt, fear, or apology. In other words, I help people act on what they already know is true and to find courage to make the decision they've been avoiding the obvious. That was me a few years ago. I had been working for years in a position that allowed me to help others make a difference in people's lives. But 30 years in, I felt like I wanted to find other ways to do this. As a nurse, much of the work was geared toward repairing, treating an illness or injury. But what if my work was focused on helping folks find tools to prevent illness and injury and to find ways to heal themselves, body, mind, and spirit, and to go for goals that they've been afraid to go after? Long story short, I was dragging my feet on making a decision, and one day the decision kind of came to me. An accident and a bonk on the head forced me to take time off from work. A prolonged break that I did not plan, but it gave me the opportunity and muster the courage to find something new and more in alignment with what I had in mind. And this is what I want for you. So in today's podcast, number 80, would I ever give you the title? It reminds me of that desire to make the change and the internal work that's needed to happen. Before I could make a move, I had to do some internal work. So today's title is Self-Respect is Important, but respecting yourself first is a whole different level. All right. Let's see here. Let's tune in. Thank you so much. All right. So, have you ever made a decision in your life that was not the best decision you could have made? Maybe you compromised your values or didn't think things through when you made the choice to act or behave a certain way. A comment from an elder, friend, or parent in response to the behavior may have been something like, "Have some self-respect, girl. Have some self-respect, boy," or man or woman. This usually is the chastisement or reprimand along with a bit of, "You're better than this. What were you thinking?" Also known as love. And your response back then may have been, "I wasn't thinking. I don't know why I did that." Connecting actions with the beliefs we say we have is the backbone of today's podcast. Yes, it is a lot easier to say what we believe than to live what we believe. But it's not impossible. And many are on this journey because the gap between the two is especially uncomfortable. I'm not sure if it's due to an awareness of the incongruence or simply that life experiences over the years has made it harder to justify or ignore the gap. We've changed and are changing. It reminds me of a scripture verse in Romans when Paul says, I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. That was Romans 7:15. When speaking about self-respect, I boil it down to valuing your own worth. Respecting yourself first is actively prioritizing that self worth so others learn how to treat you. One is internal, like mindset, and the other is more external, actions, like maintaining boundaries and not letting folks walk all over us. Noticing the gap and deciding. Noticing the gap and deciding to act in accordance with our core beliefs is the assignment. It's not easy because our past behavior has had a lot more practice. Habits are ingrained. Are we peacemakers? Are we peacekeepers? Are we people pleasers? Are we the instigators who like to debate? Self respect has like an internal blueprint. It includes knowing our values, trusting our guts, and maintaining our dignity even when no one is looking. It's an internal belief that we deserve kindness, respect, consideration, and opportunities just like anybody else. Respecting yourself first is actively setting boundaries, walking away from toxic environments, and refusing to settle for less than what we deserve. In Leah Njoki's article, Respect from Others Begins with Respecting Yourself First, I'm reminded that we sometimes tell lies to ourselves and allow people to mistreat us. Putting others before us can make everybody else comfortable, but it's not great comfort for us. Do you ever stop and ask yourself whether you respect the person on the other side of the mirror? Telling these lies and allowing people to mistreat you, putting others before you, giving until you run on empty are all clear signs that you're disrespecting yourself. Other times it's deeper and more subtle. So this week, I do want you to answer that question. Do you respect the person in the mirror? Note how you're doing that. Are you maintaining boundaries? Are you being honest? Saying no instead of saying yes, just so you don't hurt somebody's feelings? Are you saying what you really want to do or just going with the flow with the crowd because you don't want to stand out or offend anybody? It's so easy to play it small, especially if that has been a pattern, that pattern to keep the peace in your home or in workspaces, friend groups. So today's short podcast is more of a think piece and homework for you. Break out that mirror and practice respecting that person staring back at you. Pick an area that you can work on to match what you say you believe with how you're living. Is it your boundaries? Will it be just being honest when somebody asks your opinion? Even with the simplest things like what you want for dinner. Yes, we compromise for folks we love and don't have to get our way all the time. But if you notice a pattern that you're always compromising and just kind of staying small so that other people can get their way, notice that. I want you to notice that. Just something to think about. Yeah, this is short and sweet, but if you found value, let me know in the chat. Thanks for joining in, Rocio, Tony. Next week's podcast, I am thinking of trying a new time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. This time was suggested by some of my listeners, and I hope it works out so that more folks can engage in the podcast to see me live. Um, and that way I can, get feedback from you and figure out what topics are of interest too. Again, if you found value, please let me know. And if you would like to dive in a little bit deeper, you can direct message me and I can get you on my calendar so we can chat. All right. Have a great week, everybody. And as always, unleash your brilliance, uncover your light. The world is waiting for you. Take care.